All right, so we're diving into the Millionaire Mindset today. You sent over some excerpts from this book by Jerry Robert, and he's a self-made millionaire who's really big on the whole mindset thing, when it comes to building wealth.
Yeah, and what I find interesting about Robert's approach is that it's not just about these, abstract concepts. He actually grounds everything in like really practical strategies, drawing on his own experience, and other successful people.
Yeah, so let's get into it. One of the first things that jumped out at me was this idea of poverty consciousness.
Mm.
He's basically saying that sometimes it's not even a lack of resources that's holding people back, but these kind of hidden beliefs about money
Hmm.
that are like sabotaging their efforts.
Ah, yeah, that's like a core idea, right? He's talking about those deep-seated beliefs, things you might not even realize you're telling yourself all the time, that kind of create like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally. So, think about it. Have you ever caught yourself saying or even thinking something like, money is the root of all evil, or rich people are unhappy? Sound familiar? Well, Robert would say that's classic poverty consciousness at work.
Right. And he makes the point that until you really identify and challenge those beliefs, it's going to be super hard to create, real lasting wealth.
Okay, so one of the tools he talks about for shifting this mindset is what he calls magic thinking. I got to admit, the name's kind of out there, but the idea itself is pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's about tapping into that power of your subconscious mind to actually like shape your reality, right?
Yeah.
Robert uses this analogy of the conscious mind being like the captain of a ship and the crew. Well, that's your subconscious.
Right, so it's like by consciously feeding your mind with these positive, wealth-oriented thoughts, like visualizations and affirmations, you're kind of programming your subconscious to work towards those goals.
Exactly. It's not about, pretending challenges don't exist, but more about training your mind to like zone in on solutions and create a more empowering story around money and success.
Okay, and speaking of empowering stories,
Mhm.
he also gets into these universal laws. Honestly, they sounded a bit, I don't know, a bit too out there at first glance. But then the way he applies them to like real world wealth creation
Mm.
is actually pretty practical.
Yeah, he talks about things like the law of polarity, right? Which is the idea that every situation has two sides. So he uses that to like encourage people to look for the opportunity inside a challenge, find that silver lining, even when things seem negative.
So do you really think that like flipping the script idea can work for like real financial problems? It sounds good in theory, but does it actually work in practice?
Well, I think it's a great tool to like shift your perspective. Let's say you've had a financial setback, an unexpected expense, or maybe you lost your job. Instead of like dwelling on the negativity, the law of polarity says, hey, what's the opportunity here? What can I learn from this?
So instead of feeling defeated, you might start thinking about new ways to earn money or, how to get better at managing your finances.
Exactly. That's the whole point of reframing. Another universal law he talks about is the law of germination. It basically says that just like seeds planted in the ground, our ideas and efforts, they need time and consistent effort to really flourish.
So it's like a reminder that building wealth is a process, right?
Mhm.
Requires patience, persistence, and not giving up even when you don't see those results right away. Reminds me of that story he shares about the organist who composed Silent Night.
Oh, yeah. What a story, right? So picture this. It's Christmas Eve, right before this big service, and a mouse chews through the church organ. Talk about a disaster. But instead of freaking out or giving up, the organist used that situation as inspiration and quickly wrote Silent Night on his guitar.
I love how that story, which seems, totally unrelated to money on the surface, actually illustrates this core principle of wealth creation. Even when something seems like a total disaster, a shift in perspective can lead to like unexpected opportunities. It makes you wonder, what seemingly negative things in your own life could actually be reframed as opportunities.
That's a great question to think about. And building on that whole resourceful problem solving thing, Robert introduces this concept called masterminding.
Yeah, so as I understand it, masterminding is all about um, tapping into the collective intelligence of a group, right?
Yeah.
To overcome challenges and like achieve goals faster. It's about finding those people who can support you give you new perspectives, and, hold you accountable.
He makes a strong case that surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are also striving for success can really speed up your progress.
Yeah.
He even has this example of a guy who loved fishing and used his mastermind group to turn his hobby into a real business.
Oh, I love real-world examples like that.
Yeah.
Makes the whole thing so much more tangible. Did he explain how to actually set up and, run a successful mastermind group?
Absolutely. He lays out a step-by-step process, really emphasizing action-oriented results. It's not just a social gathering, right? It's about setting goals, brainstorming solutions, and creating concrete plans that you'll actually follow through on.
Okay, so let's talk about something I think a lot of people listening can relate to. Escaping that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Robert's a big advocate for building multiple streams of income, or MSIs.
Yeah, he's right on the mark there. Relying on just one income source can be, pretty risky, especially these days. MSIs are like a safety net, They help you diversify your income and be less dependent on just one job.
And some of the examples he gives are pretty inspiring. And a bit unexpected, too. Like, he talks about a mobile oil change service and a tie-of-the-month club.
I think those kind of unconventional examples are so important because they make you think outside the box, It's not just about getting any old side hustle. It's about creating a whole portfolio of income-generating assets that work for you even when you're not working.
And he has some specific criteria for evaluating potential MSIs, right?
Right.
It's not just about chasing any random opportunity that pops up.
Right. He focuses on factors like low management, high return, and, something that actually provides a real service. It's about being strategic and aligning your MSIs with, your skills, your passions, and your long-term financial goals.
Okay, so speaking of strategic thinking, Robert's also really big on time management as a key part of the millionaire mindset.
Yeah, and he introduces this kind of interesting concept called D-Day. It stands for the day the money runs out, basically. It's a thought experiment. Like, how long could you survive financially if your income suddenly stopped?
Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Really forces you to assess your financial security and see if you're truly prepared for the unexpected.
And he doesn't just leave you hanging with that unsettling thought. Robert gives a ton of really practical tips for getting better at managing your time. Things like prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries so you're not constantly interrupted, and avoiding those sneaky time wasters that can really kill your productivity.
So it's all about working smarter, not just harder, right? Making sure your time and energy are focused on the things that actually move you closer to your financial goals.
Exactly. And he even suggests setting up a system to organize all your financial information, what he calls the money mastery filing system, to streamline everything and make sure you've got all your ducks in a row.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here, from mindset to practical stuff like managing time and creating multiple income streams. But I'm really curious about his take on sales and marketing, because he argues that the old rules just don't apply anymore in today's world.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how he points out this fundamental shift in how consumers think now. He said people are way more skeptical, bombarded with marketing messages all the time, and they're craving authenticity and real value.
But so those slick, pushy sales techniques and generic marketing campaigns, they're not really cutting it anymore.
Exactly. He says that in today's market, building trust and credibility is the most important thing. It's about moving away from those kind of manipulative tactics and really focusing on developing genuine relationships with customers and giving them valuable content and personalized solutions.
He also talks about the importance of visibility,
Right.
and how being seen as an authority can actually shorten the sales cycle.
Yeah. In such a crowded marketplace, it's crucial to stand out and establish yourself as a trusted expert. And Robert, he proposes a pretty bold strategy for this, writing and leveraging a book.
A book. That might seem a bit counterintuitive in this digital age, but I'm curious to hear how he justifies that.
Well, he makes a compelling case, saying that a book can hit all those key points of effective marketing, attraction, differentiation, visibility, credibility, authority, and it has staying power.
So it's like having this powerful, long-lasting marketing tool that's working for you even while you sleep.
Exactly. He even calls it a marketing brochure on steroids. And he tackles those common objections people might have to writing a book, like not having enough time, not being a good writer, or, the cost of publishing.
So he's basically saying those barriers to writing a book aren't as insurmountable as they might seem.
Right. He gives practical solutions like finding sponsors to fund the project, using content you've already created, or even working with a ghostwriter to, make the whole process smoother.
He even shares a story about a client who took their passion for fine dining and turned it into a successful career as a published restaurant critic.
It's a great example of how combining passion, creativity, and strategic action can lead to amazing results. And it shows how a book can be a springboard for, not just financial success, but also personal fulfillment and even making a difference in the world.
Okay, so before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one of Robert's more unique sales strategies, what he calls magic marketing.
Yeah, it's this six-step process that involves like identifying hundreds of potential prospects and getting others to pay for a comprehensive marketing campaign, including producing and distributing like 10,000 brochures.
Wow, that sounds ambitious. How does he suggest making that happen?
He lays out a strategy that involves hosting a seminar with a, prominent speaker in your field and getting sponsors to cover the costs.
That's brilliant. By partnering with sponsors whose target market aligns with yours, you're tapping into this like pre-qualified audience, expanding your reach significantly, and generating tons of leads without breaking the bank.
Right. He emphasizes the importance of picking a speaker who's not just knowledgeable, but also, willing to actually endorse your products or services from the stage.
So you're essentially leveraging their authority and credibility to boost your own visibility and trustworthiness in the eyes of potential customers.
And he also stresses the critical importance of like relentless follow-up after the seminar to capitalize on that momentum and, convert those warm leads into loyal paying customers.
Yeah, it's a really comprehensive approach. It kind of combines those traditional marketing tactics with a more modern relationship-focused approach. And speaking of relationships, Robert really emphasizes the importance of building like a strong internal foundation for success.
You're talking about that successibility thinking, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about, visualizing success. It's about really believing it's possible for you.
Exactly. And one of the tools he suggests for developing that mindset is what he calls the 30-day success declaration plan. Kind of sounds like, those daily affirmation things you see everywhere these days. Yeah, he gives specific declarations for each day, right? But what makes this different from just like repeating positive statements?
It's about more than just saying the words. It's about internalizing those beliefs, making them a part of who you are. He emphasizes like really feeling those declarations, putting conviction behind them.
So, imagine yourself listening to this and actually feeling those words resonate within you. It's almost like creating a mental blueprint for success
Yeah.
that your subconscious can then start to like manifest in your reality.
Exactly. And he even includes this powerful quote from Genevieve Barron that kind of sums it up beautifully. It says, "When your understanding grasps the power to visualize your heart's desire and holds it with your will, it attracts to you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture by the harmonious vibration of the law of attraction."
Whoa, that's pretty deep. It speaks to that idea that our thoughts and beliefs can actually shape the reality we experience. And, one of the things I appreciate about Robert's approach is that it's not just about, like, individual wealth. He also talks about the importance of giving back and making a difference in the world.
Yeah, he really believes that true abundance is about more than just money. It's about using what you have, your resources and influence to create a positive ripple effect.
He even invites readers to participate in a book giveaway program to support people recovering from addiction.
That's a great example of how he's like walking the talk,
Right.
Showing a commitment to something bigger than just personal gain.
All right, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that I think can be a real struggle for a lot of people, mastering time. Robert emphasizes effective time management as crucial for both financial success and, just living a fulfilling life.
Absolutely. He argues that it's not about like cramming more tasks into your day or working harder, but about working smarter and prioritizing the activities that really move you towards your goals.
Yeah, he offers a ton of practical tips from creating a money mastery filing system to keep your financial stuff organized to scheduling those closed door periods to minimize interruptions.
Right. And he also encourages readers to identify those, sneaky time-wasting habits that can really kill your productivity.
Yeah.
Things like procrastination or getting bogged down in like low-priority tasks.
I'm sure a lot of people listening can relate to that. He even provides a procrastination worksheet
Hmm.
to help you figure out what tasks you tend to put off and, come up with a plan to overcome that.
And remember that story about the organist composing Silent Night? That's a powerful reminder that even when faced with, totally unexpected challenges, there's always a solution if you're willing to be resourceful and focus on what you can control.
Okay, let's dive into something I'm really curious about: the power of a book. Robert makes this kind of bold claim that writing and leveraging a book is one of the most effective marketing strategies out there, especially for building credibility and attracting clients.
Yeah, it might seem a bit old school in today's digital world, but he makes a really compelling case for why a book is still so relevant and powerful.
He argues that a book can achieve those 6 key elements of effective marketing: attraction, differentiation, visibility, credibility, authority, and longevity. Did he explain how a book can actually accomplish all that?
Oh, absolutely. He says that a book acts as like a tangible representation of your expertise. It's a platform for showcasing your, unique insights and perspectives. It establishes you as a thought leader in your field and attracts clients who resonate with your message.
So it's not just about, selling copies of the book itself. It's about using the book as a kind of springboard for building a thriving business. A bit like that restaurant critic example he shared.
Exactly. It's about leveraging the book to attract media attention, get speaking engagements, and land those lucrative consulting opportunities.
Now, I bet some people listening are thinking, I don't have time to write a book. I'm not even a good writer. What would Robert say to that?
He addresses those concerns head on, offering practical solutions like working with a ghostwriter, repurposing content you've already created, or even, finding sponsors to fund the project.
So he's encouraging people to be creative and resourceful in finding ways to make it happen.
He even suggests the possibility of self-publishing if, traditional publishing routes seem too challenging or time-consuming.
So it's about finding what works for you and just, taking those first steps. Okay, let's shift our focus to something that's essential but can be kind of daunting: managing your finances effectively.
And Robert introduces this concept of the paycheck-to-paycheck syndrome, highlighting how so many people, even those earning decent incomes, struggle to make ends meet. He says it's not always about a lack of income, but rather a lack of financial literacy.
He throws out this pretty sobering statistic: almost 90% of families worldwide are living paycheck to paycheck. What does he suggest people do to, break free from that cycle?
He emphasizes building those sound money management skills, things like tracking your income and expenses, creating a budget, and understanding the basics of investing. He even provides practical tools like his monthly income and expense worksheet and a financial fitness test to help you assess your current financial health.
So it's about taking control of your finances instead of feeling like you're constantly at their mercy.
Right. He also sheds light on those common money mistakes and, rip-offs that can really sabotage your financial progress. Things like those extended warranties, long-term financing with crazy high interest rates, or those tempting credit card offers that sound too good to be true.
So it's about being a smart consumer, making informed decisions that support your long-term financial well-being.
Exactly. And he gives a ton of practical tips for saving money, from negotiating better deals on things like insurance premiums to refinancing your mortgage to lower those interest payments.
It's not about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious choices that, align with your financial goals and values.
Mhm.
And one of the key themes that runs throughout the entire book is this idea of unrelenting persistence.
He really argues that achieving financial success is not a sprint, it's a marathon, requires unwavering determination, a willingness to overcome obstacles, and a refusal to give up on your dreams.
He shares this powerful quote from Calvin Coolidge that really captures it: "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent."
That's such a great reminder that it's not just about talent or intelligence or even resources. It's about having the grit and the determination to keep going even when you hit those roadblocks.
And that brings us to another important piece of the millionaire mindset: the idea of inner transformation. Robert argues that achieving real, lasting financial success requires not just changing your actions, but transforming your mindset and your beliefs about money.
He's acknowledging that our, external results are often a reflection of our internal world. If
Hmm.
we want to create lasting change in our financial lives, we need to address those deep-seated beliefs, attitudes, and habits that might be holding us back.
He encourages readers to identify and challenge those poverty consciousness beliefs that might be sabotaging their financial progress.
Yeah.
Even as this exercise where you list those limiting beliefs, ridicule them, challenge their validity, and then replace them with more empowering alternatives.
It's about dismantling those negative thought patterns and replacing them with beliefs that support abundance, financial well-being, and, that belief that you are capable of achieving your financial goals.
And one of the things that really drew me to Robert's work in the first place was his focus on magic thinking. He argues that by aligning your conscious and subconscious mind, you can basically achieve anything you set your mind to.
It's about harnessing that incredible power of the subconscious mind to manifest your desires and create a reality that, reflects your deepest
He
aspirations.
uses that analogy of the conscious mind being like the captain giving instructions to the crew, which is the subconscious.
So by consciously feeding your mind with those positive thoughts, visualizations, and affirmations, you're essentially programming your subconscious to work towards those goals.
He also makes it clear that it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. You also have to take action and put in the work to make those dreams a reality. Magic thinking isn't passive. It's about actively collaborating with your subconscious mind to create the life you want.
Absolutely. And Robert also delves into the importance of, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who share your values and aspirations. He argues that our social circles have a huge impact on our beliefs, our behaviors, and ultimately, our success.
He introduces the concept of wealth building associates, or WBAs.
Hmm.
Basically, he's highlighting how connecting with like-minded people who are, committed to growth and abundance can really speed up your progress and provide that invaluable support along the way.
It's recognizing that we become like the people we spend the most time with. By surrounding ourselves with people who inspire us, challenge us, and hold us accountable, we create an environment that fosters growth, success, and, that mutual support.
And that ties into his emphasis on finding mentors and building relationships with successful people who can, guide and inspire you. He even provides a script for reaching out to potential mentors, which I thought was pretty helpful.
Yeah, it's recognizing that we don't have to figure everything out on our own. There are so many people out there who have already achieved the success we desire, and they're often willing to share their, knowledge, experience, and connections with those who are genuinely seeking to learn and grow.
And that brings us to another really important point. Financial success is not just about like accumulating wealth. It's about achieving a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and that freedom to live life on your own terms.
Right. He encourages readers to identify their heart's desire, to envision a life that goes beyond just financial goals, a life that includes, personal growth, meaningful relationships, and contributing to causes that matter to them.
It's about recognizing that money is you know, a tool that can be used to create a life of purpose and meaning, but it's not the end goal in itself. Robert wants to empower people to take control of their finances and their lives so they can, create a future that's truly fulfilling on all levels.
And one of the key strategies he offers for doing that is creating multiple streams of income, or MSIs.
Yeah, he argues that diversifying your income sources is really essential for achieving financial security and reducing your reliance on a single job, especially in today's, unpredictable economy.
He encourages people to think outside that traditional 9 to 5 box and explore those less conventional income generating opportunities. He shares some really inspiring examples, from starting a mobile oil change service to creating a subscription box business.
I love how those examples challenge that limiting belief that we have to, stick to a single career path. It's like he's saying, hey, there are countless ways to create income. Find something that resonates with you, something that utilizes your unique talents and skills.
Exactly. And he provides this helpful MSI criteria list to guide people in evaluating potential ventures. He focuses on factors like, low management, high return, and whether it aligns with your interests.
So it's about being strategic and investing your time and energy in ventures that have the potential to generate sustainable income and, contribute to your overall well-being.
And he acknowledges that not every venture will be a success. you know, but he emphasizes persistence and experimentation.
It's about embracing that growth mindset, viewing setbacks as learning opportunities, and constantly refining your approach as you gain experience and insight.
He encourages connecting with mentors, networking with other entrepreneurs, and, seeking out support groups to navigate the challenges and celebrate those wins along the way.
It's about recognizing that you don't have to go it alone. Building a strong support system is essential for any entrepreneurial journey. And speaking of taking action, Robert really emphasizes the importance of what he calls massive action.
It's about taking concrete steps towards your goals, even if you don't have all the answers or feel totally prepared.
He argues that action is the key to unlocking progress and momentum. Too often, we get stuck in that, analysis paralysis mode, overthinking and waiting for the perfect moment to start. Robert's like, start now, even if it means taking small, imperfect steps.
He provides a range of strategies for overcoming procrastination and taking decisive action. Things like setting deadlines, breaking down large goals into smaller steps, and, rewarding yourself for making progress.
It's about building momentum, creating that positive feedback loop, and celebrating those wins, no matter how small they may seem. Okay, let's shift our focus to marketing in the digital age. Robert argues that the old rules of marketing just don't apply anymore in today's world.
He highlights a huge shift in the consumer mindset. People are way more informed, skeptical, and discerning than ever before. They're less trusting of traditional sales tactics and bombarded with marketing messages constantly. They crave authenticity, genuine value, and, personalized experiences.
So are you saying those slick sales techniques and generic marketing campaigns are becoming less effective?
Totally. He says that in today's market, building trust and credibility is like paramount. It's about moving away from those manipulative tactics and really focusing on building genuine relationships with customers, providing valuable content, and offering personalized solutions that actually meet their unique needs.
He also emphasizes the importance of differentiation, right?
Absolutely. In today's crowded marketplace, you have to stand out from the competition and clearly communicate your unique value proposition. What makes you different? What problems do you solve? Why should potential customers choose you over the countless other options available?
He encourages readers to embrace digital marketing strategies, leverage social media, create valuable content, and, build an online presence that showcases their expertise.
And he really stresses the power of visibility. It's about being strategic, using various channels to reach your target audience, and consistently showing up where your ideal customers spend their time.
Which brings us back to his emphasis on writing a book, right?
Exactly. Robert views a book as one of the most effective tools for establishing yourself as an authority and a trusted expert in your field.
And he sees a book as a way to hit all 6 elements of effective marketing.
Absolutely. Attraction, differentiation, visibility, credibility, authority, and longevity. He really believes that no other marketing tool can accomplish all of those objectives as powerfully as a well-written book.
And he even addresses those common objections that people have to writing a book. Lack of time, not being a good writer, or not having the financial resources.
He encourages readers to be creative and resourceful. Find sponsors, utilize content you've already created, or maybe work with a coach to make the writing process easier.
And he shares that inspiring story of James, who turned his passion for fine dining into a successful career as a published restaurant critic.
It's a perfect example of how a book can be a springboard for not just financial success, but personal fulfillment and even making a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about the importance of personal effectiveness. Robert argues that developing strong skills in areas like time management, organization, communication, and decision-making is crucial for maximizing your productivity, reducing stress, and achieving your goals.
You're right. Personal effectiveness is all about developing the habits, systems, and skills that allow you to operate at your peak, both in your personal life and professionally. It's about taking control of your time, energy, and resources so you can really focus on what matters and make progress towards your goals.
And he gives so many practical tips for enhancing your personal effectiveness. Things like creating a daily schedule that aligns with your energy levels, prioritizing tasks based on importance and urgency, delegating whenever possible, and, setting boundaries to protect your time and energy.
And he also emphasizes self-care, recognizing that sustainable success isn't about burning yourself out, but about finding that balance.
Sorry.
Maintaining high levels of productivity while taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
He encourages creating a dedicated workspace that minimizes distractions. developing a morning routine that sets you up for success, and regularly reviewing your goals and progress to make sure you're on track.
And don't forget about learning to say no to commitments that don't align with your priorities or drain your time and energy.
It's about realizing that your time is valuable and you have the right to choose how you spend it. Okay, let's dive into one of the most powerful strategies Robert outlines, mastermind magic. He argues that tapping into the collective intelligence and support of a group can really accelerate your progress and help you overcome challenges that might seem impossible on your own.
Masterminding is about bringing together a group of like-minded people who are committed to supporting each other's growth, brainstorming solutions, sharing resources, and holding each other accountable.
He's a huge believer in the power of collaboration, that synergy that happens when people with different perspectives, experiences, and skills come together.
Absolutely, and he provides a clear structure for creating and running successful mastermind groups, setting ground rules, facilitating productive discussions, and making sure there are clear objectives.
He emphasizes that those mastermind sessions should lead to concrete actions and progress towards each member's goals.
Right. He even includes a mastermind worksheet to help the group brainstorm solutions, identify resources, and develop those action plans. It's about making sure those mastermind sessions lead to real-world results.
And another important principle that Robert emphasizes throughout the book is continuous learning and personal growth. Achieving lasting success requires, always be learning, expanding your mindset, challenging your assumptions, and being open to new perspectives.
He firmly believes we're all works in progress, and there's always more to learn and grow from.
He offers a ton of strategies for continuous learning, things like reading, attending seminars, connecting with mentors, and experimenting with new approaches.
Don't forget reflecting on your experiences, both the successes and the failures. It's about abstracting those valuable lessons and insights that can inform your future decisions.
He encourages readers to keep a journal, track their progress, and regularly review their goals and strategies.
Now, let's talk about a concept that Robert introduces that might seem a bit counterintuitive. Resist the urge to splurge.
It's about recognizing that true wealth isn't about instant gratification or keeping up with the Joneses. It's about making those conscious choices that align with your long-term goals, even if it means delaying some immediate pleasures.
He encourages readers to develop a savings plan, track their spending, and make mindful choices about how they use their resources.
He also talks about the dangers of consumer debt, those tempting credit card offers that can lead to more financial stress down the road.
Right, and he gives a bunch of tips for resisting that urge to splurge. Setting a budget, avoiding those impulse purchases, and finding creative ways to save money without sacrificing your quality of life.
So it's about developing a mindset of abundance and realizing that financial freedom isn't about deprivation. It's about making choices that empower you to create a life of security, freedom, and fulfillment.
He encourages readers to focus on building assets that generate passive income, like investments, rental properties, or online businesses, instead of accumulating those material possessions that lose value over time and often lead to more debt.
Let's dive into one of the most compelling chapters where Robert explores susceptibility thinking.
It's about achieving success by cultivating a mindset that believes in the possibility of reaching your goals and attracting the resources and opportunities needed to make them happen.
It's so true. Our beliefs really do shape our actions and our results. If you don't believe something is possible, you're less likely to take the steps to make it happen.
And he offers some great strategies for developing a more empowering mindset. Things like identifying and challenging those limiting beliefs, changing that negative self-talk, and focusing on the positive aspects of building wealth.
He also talks about visualization and affirmations, encouraging readers to vividly imagine themselves living their dream life and to consistently affirm their belief in their abilities.
It's all about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the outcomes you want, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that drives you towards success.
Now, let's switch gears and talk about managing debt effectively.
Robert acknowledges that debt can be a useful tool, especially for leveraging resources and investing in opportunities. But he emphasizes using it wisely and avoiding those traps that can lead to financial stress.
You're right, debt can be a double-edged sword. Used strategically, it can help you acquire assets or invest in your business. But if it's not controlled, it can quickly become a huge burden with all those interest payments and damage to your credit score.
He offers some practical tips for managing debt effectively. Creating a debt reduction plan, tackling that high-interest debt first, and negotiating with creditors to maybe reduce interest rates or monthly payments.
It's about taking control of your debt instead of letting it control you.
And it's important to understand the terms and conditions of any loan before you sign anything. Be a savvy consumer, protect your financial interests, and watch out for those hidden fees.
He wants readers to develop a sense of financial responsibility and see debt as a tool to be used strategically, not a burden. Okay, let's move on to a topic that can be a bit uncomfortable for some people: negotiation. Robert argues that strong negotiation skills are crucial for boosting your income, getting better deals, and, standing up for your financial interests.
Absolutely. Negotiation isn't just about haggling over prices, it's a valuable life skill that applies to so many situations. Salary negotiations, business deals, even personal relationships. It's about communicating your needs, finding solutions that benefit everyone, and creating those win-win situations.
He gives some really practical tips for improving your negotiation skills: researching your options, clearly defining what you want to achieve, preparing your arguments, and actively listening to the other person's perspective.
Right, and being willing to walk away if a deal doesn't work for you. He also highlights the importance of building rapport and establishing trust. It's not a battle, it's a collaborative process.
He encourages practicing these skills in everyday situations, from dealing with vendors to asking for a raise to even resolving conflicts with friends and family.
It's about developing that confidence to effectively advocate for yourself and create outcomes that support your goals and well-being.
Now, one of the key principles Robert emphasizes is the importance of what he calls the internal marks of a professional.
He argues that lasting success isn't just about skills and strategies. It's about building a strong internal foundation of character, integrity, and professionalism.
He outlines some of those key internal marks, things like integrity, honesty, perseverance, humility, and a commitment to excellence.
Do the right thing, even when it's tough. Be transparent and honest. Persevere through those challenges. Be willing to learn from your mistakes and always strive to exceed expectations.
He sees these internal marks as essential foundations for building a successful and fulfilling career, not just, superficial qualities.
True professionalism isn't about titles, appearances, or awards. It's about those values and principles that guide your actions and inspire trust.
Okay, let's talk about sales. Robert acknowledges that a lot of people have negative feelings about sales. They see it as pushy, manipulative, or even unethical.
Yeah, but he challenges that perception, arguing that selling, when done authentically and ethically, is about building relationships, solving problems, and providing value.
He emphasizes that effective selling isn't about tricking people. It's about understanding their needs, presenting solutions that actually address those needs, and building trust through honesty and a commitment to serving their best interest.
He gives some practical tips for improving your sales skills: developing a deep understanding of your product, actively listening to your prospects, and clearly explaining the benefits of what you're offering.
And following up and nurturing those relationships with clients even after the sale.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's about building that loyal customer base by providing excellent service, going above and beyond, and demonstrating that you genuinely care about their success.
He wants people to see sales as an opportunity to make a positive impact by helping others solve problems, achieve their goals, and create a better future for themselves.
And one of the most interesting insights he shares about marketing is this: they don't care about you.
It's such a powerful reminder that effective marketing isn't about bragging or self-promotion. It's about connecting with your audience on a deeper level, understanding their challenges, and presenting solutions that resonate with them.
It's about stepping into their shoes, understanding their motivations, and crafting marketing messages that speak directly to their needs and aspirations.
He encourages market research, engaging with your audience on social media, asking for feedback, and constantly refining your message based on those responses.
It's about building those relationships, providing valuable content that educates and informs, and demonstrating a genuine desire to help.
He argues that in today's world, authenticity, transparency, and a commitment to providing value are more important than ever before.
He also stresses the importance of differentiation, arguing that in such a crowded marketplace, you have to make it clear what makes you unique and why potential customers should choose you.
So differentiation is about identifying and articulating your unique value proposition, those benefits that your competitors don't offer.
He encourages readers to analyze their strengths, identify what their target audience needs, and create a clear and compelling message that highlights what sets them apart.
So it's about figuring out, like, what's that special sauce that makes your business stand out, and then making sure your marketing message is shouting that from the rooftops.
Exactly. And he gives a bunch of ways to do that, like focusing on a niche market, coming up with unique products or services, offering killer customer service, and building a brand that people remember.
Yeah, and he also talks about using your personal story and expertise to connect with people, which
Yeah.
makes sense, right? People love stories and want to know who they're doing business with.
For sure. And something Robert emphasizes throughout the book is that, achieving financial success isn't a solo mission. You got to build a support system, surround yourself with people who can give you advice, inspire you, and even give you a little nudge when you need it.
Basically, you don't have to climb that mountain alone.
Exactly. We all need mentors, advisors, other people in the same boat to help us through the tough times and celebrate the good times.
He talks about finding mentors who've already achieved what you're aiming for, joining those networking groups, and just building relationships with people who get you and have similar goals.
And he also talks about building a strong team, whether that's hiring employees, working with contractors, or even collaborating with other entrepreneurs.
It's like admitting you don't have to do everything yourself.
Right. Bringing in other talented people can really help you reach your goals faster.
There's this one concept that Robert introduces that I think is the perfect way to wrap up our deep dive into the millionaire mindset.
Oh, yeah.
It's this idea of hanging your dreams in the closet.
Uh,
He tells a story about this young basketball player who tragically died in a car accident. After the funeral, the boy's dad, just heartbroken, said, "We have a saying down here. When we lose one of our young ones, we hang our dreams in the closet."
oh, wow. Yeah, that's powerful.
It's such a vivid image,
Yeah.
It's like that thing we all do sometimes. We let go of our dreams when we experience loss or get scared or face challenges. Robert's using this story to ask us, are we letting our fears and those limiting beliefs hold us back? Are we hanging our dreams in the closet?
It's like he's giving us this wake-up call, telling us to dust off those dreams and start taking action no matter what obstacles are in our way.
He's reminding us that life is short and we only get so much time to pursue our passions, make a difference, and create a legacy that we can be proud of.
Right.
So, to everyone listening, take a minute to think about those dreams you might have tucked away. What's one small step you can take today to start moving towards them?
And remember, it's not just about getting rich. It's about building a life that aligns with what you value, what lights you up, and what makes you feel fulfilled.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the millionaire mindset. Hopefully exploring these ideas from Jerry Robert has given you some valuable takeaways and maybe spark some new ideas for your own journey.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that achieving financial success and building a meaningful life, it's totally within your reach. It all starts with shifting your mindset, being willing to take action, and believing that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.